woke up out of that coma 2001, the same time Dre dropped 2001. Martin Luther King had a Aaliyah had a y'all know the song. Yeah, y'all know the song, man. You know, what time did y'all wake up out of that coma when y'all was getting brainwashed by the media? You know, when did you start thinking for yourself besides letting the media think for you? You know, we need more basketball people like that. Stop listening to what these people in the media are always telling you, man. Half of the time they be lying. You know, you got to think for yourself. Come up with your own criteria. Come up with your own stuff. You know, but that's what we do here. Freedom of speech, baby. Freedom of speech. Now, one thing I like to do today is put that nail in the coffin on LeBron James for the season. Okay. Now, hopefully, this will be the last live stream of the year that I could do about LeBron James. I really don't want to do any more about him because I think it's unfair to the rest of the players that's playing, and we're headed into the postseason. The regular season is almost over, right? And there's nothing more important in NBA basketball than the MF playoffs, okay? The postseason is the most important aspect to basketball. And I don't want it tarnished. I don't want it be diluted by LeBron James stories. Because I remember the last time he failed in the Lakers jersey, 2019. They were doing stories on LeBron James in the middle of the playoffs. I mean, like, we got good basketball games going on. We got top teams playing against each other, and nobody talking about those other players and other teams. You're talking about LeBron James in the middle of the damn postseason. How disrespectful is that towards the other players to play the game of basketball? You know, you got guys like, excuse me, you got guys like LeBron James. It has been over what, 48 hours now? And LeBron James is already making news talking about he want to play with Steph Curry. That's I woke up in the morning and that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing reports of he wants to play with Steph Curry. That should be the last thing on your mind. You should be worried about what can you do to help the Lakers get back to the promised land. That's what real players do. When they lose, they go back to the drawing board and they look to make up for it. Now, regardless of what you do moving on in the future, this is still on your resume. You can't erase that. But what you can do is get back on that top five list for some people. And the only way you could do that is by winning. You got to win. You got to continue to win. You know, as long as you're going to be a championship contender, you got to continue to win. What happens if the Lakers, where do the Lakers move on, go on from here? What if this same Lakers team go out and get Dame Dollar? They got another super team. The hype is back on. What if he does find a way to go and play with Steph Curry? Now, Steph Curry did say, hey, I don't want to be playing with LeBron. He covered that up. Okay. He's good. He don't want to be playing with LeBron James. And I don't blame him. You know? So you got the Brooklyn Nets, they beat my Nets today. I mean the Brooklyn Nets beat my Knicks today. And, you know, for all the hard times that the Brooklyn Nets going through, they still in the race. They still gonna most likely go to the postseason. So that's an indictment on LeBron because Kevin Durant able to go to the postseason and his team don't play a lick of defense. You know, your team had problems playing defense too, but you can't make it to the postseason. And there's some people saying that the Eastern Conference is, if not just as better than the Western Conference. So that's another indictment on LeBron James because if the West really did lost value and got depleted a little bit, you should be able to make the playoffs even more. You know, if there's lesser talent now in the Western Conference, then you should be able to make the playoffs. If that's what people are saying. You know, I did hear a lot of excuse machines from the Nick Wrights. Okay, Nick Wright is using he going in his Avengers excuse bag, and he's gonna sit there and say, "Hey, you know what? LeBron James is out of his prime." You wasn't saying LeBron out of his prime when he was breaking records and scoring 50 points, was you? Keep that same energy because you wasn't saying that then. You only say that now because he lost. So you need another excuse to back that up. Well, here's the funny part about that. If LeBron James is out of his prime, then what do you call averaging 30 plus points a game, shooting 50% from the field? That means he was stat padding and those stats are empty, right? Oh, no, you don't want to go there, right? Because you can't have both. It's either one or the other. And it's going to be two negative things because he lost. So which one is it? Either he's old out of his prime, he can't be a top five player, or he's stat padding and playing, putting up empty stats that don't mean nothing. Which one is it? Pick one. Because either way, you shoot yourself in the foot and you lose. Next year should be bad too. You may be right. You may be right. He got to play defense. The best players in basketball got to play both ends of the floor. You know, when Michael Jordan was 35 years old, he was still playing both ends of the floor. You do know that. He was still playing defense, even as an older basketball player. So I don't want to hear that excuse that, you know, he can't play defense no more because of his age. You know, dude, just give the team up to somebody. If you can't handle it, you can't be the alpha no more, then give the team up to somebody. But you can't have it go both ways. Either this is your team or it's not. Which one is it? Are you the sidekick or are you the alpha? Which way are we going to judge you by? You know, you got to pick one. It's only going to come down to one. So, man, I got these crazy wild dogs coming in the dungeon. Get out of here. Get. They're leaving. All right. So we're gonna shoot all those narratives in the foot and see where the Los Angeles Lakers go from here. Now you got shit. You got Lakers knocked out the playoffs, but yet they're gonna still make a lot of news. There's no doubt about it that the Lakers are gonna make a lot of headlines. They're gonna make a lot of news. That may never end. As long as LeBron James playing, he's gonna be attracting media attention, and the media is gonna be talking about him. Which hurts the NBA. This is the perfect problem with the NBA. You got guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo ready to try to take the crown, but you don't give him none of the media coverage. I'm glad you don't give him that much media coverage because you know why? If you give Giannis Antetokounmpo the same media coverage as LeBron, he may get complacent. He may say, "Hey, I got the media on my jock. I lost my hunger to be great because everybody else is telling me I'm great." Giannis plays like he's a man that has something to prove, and he's going to continue to play like that if you keep putting him on the back burner. But maybe if you get on your knees and pat him on the back and say everything is going to be all right, that makes him more complacent. Nobody gets stuff done when you keep sucking up to them because they feel like, hey, I got the whole world in the palm of my hands. I got the whole world, right? So if that's the case, then guess what? You're going to lose your hunger and desire. Um, that gives credence to Michael Jordan even more. The fact that this guy was called the best player in basketball and was still able to go out and win multiple championships with the whole world on his jock without being complacent shows a lot. You know, hype was one thing that never stopped Michael Jordan from doing what he had to do. When he was a top championship contender, every time he won, the hype got more and more. And he just exceeded it and won a three-peat back to back. You know, it takes a lot to do something like that. That's more pressure than a lot of situations. Once you win, you know how much pressure you have to win again? You know how hard it is to stay on top after you win? That's even more harder to do because every time you win, the expectations get higher and higher and higher. And in LeBron's case, every time that you stack the deck and you talk about all these players that you want to play with, and you potentially probably link up to play with them, then the hype gets bigger and bigger. You can't play with all these all stars and expect people not to have that same energy and think that you're not going to win. People were saying the Lakers was going to win 70 games. People said the Lakers was going to win a championship again. Nobody said this team could beat this team in 4 games. And they highlighted all the future Hall of Famers, the big three super team, all of that. Now, You may be saying, hey, this whole big three super team thing is starting to die down. It's starting to lose its luster. I hope you're right, because that won't give nobody else incentive to go out there and make big threes. If big three is a failure now, you don't need super teams. You never really did in the first place. But if it's really known now, then guess what? We could move on. We could move on and start talking about some real basketball. Instead of talking about a man that even when he loses, you got more articles out of a guy losing than the guy winning. When are you going to start giving Giannis his props? Because he coming for the crown. Not only is he coming for LeBron's crown, but he's coming for Kawhi's crown, Kevin Durant's crown. And then once he creeps into that top five, he's going to come for Magic, Kareem, Jordan. Okay, he's going to come looking for those guys. He's going to come looking for Spoke with those guys. He got a long list of players to surpass. Okay, he got to get past Kobe. He got to get past Tim Duncan. He got to get past the tier threes, the tier twos, before he hits the tier one. He got a long list, but a three-peat won't hurt. And I noticed this. I'm going to say something that's going to be a shock to a lot of people. A lot of people sit there and say, hey, you know, it's not just about winning championships. I understand that. But you know what? In this case, when winning gives you individual accolades, you get regular season MVPs from winning. You get finals MVPs from winning. All of these accolades come along with winning. So it comes along with the territory. So all you have to do technically is win, and you will get all those individual accolades. So it does become an arms race in modern NBA day history. You know, who's going to be that player to get 7 championships? Who's going to be that player to get 6 championships? We're in 2022 and no superstar player has more championships than Michael Jordan yet. That's sad. That shows you how hard it is to get 6 championships in modern NBA history, because nobody else got them. Some guys came close, just like the 80s. Some guys came close to those three-peats, but never got them. All Giannis have to do is keep on winning. He goes 2-0 in the finals, 3-0 in the finals. Keep on winning. A 3-0 is enough to put Giannis surpass LeBron James, because he's going to have the MVPs. He's going to have the defensive player. He's going to have all those individual accolades, and those will boost up his career because he'll be winning along with those individual accolades. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. He's in the heap of his prime right now. And what you do in your prime is what matters most. Not what you do when you're out of your prime. What you do while you're in your prime is the main goal, is the main thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ultimately you're going to be judged by. What have you done when you hit the biggest stage there is? You know, because that's what people are going to look at, you know, even when it comes to all the great players of the past. People always go back to the NBA finals and what have you done, you know, because the regular season games going to be easily forgotten, you know. To some of us hardcore basketball fans, we will have some of these classic games recorded on, um, DVD or digital downloads, whatever. You know, me personally, I'm an NBA, I'm a sports fanatic. Would you believe me if I tell you I got career games of LeBron James recorded on DVD? Michael Jordan games recorded on DVD. I have so much of a collection of NBA player games that I can make a channel and just upload NBA player games, because I have literally a collection of classic NBA games of every superstar, you name it. Now that's a guy that loves sports, because I believe everybody has that certain peak where they're real hot, but you got to jump off their bandwagon once they cool down. Okay, once that happens, it's time to switch up. know what I'm saying? Oh, salute, Brandon. What up? Just chilling, man. LeBron James sent home in one of the biggest meltdowns. This is right up there with 2011. This is just a big meltdown. Period. This is a failure in every aspect. And now LeBron James is going to be tied to one of the worst Laker teams in franchise history. This is by far one of the worst Laker teams of all time. And LeBron James, you constructed this team. Magic Johnson even said LeBron James is the reason why Russell Westbrook is on his team, which we all know. But would you understand this? Dig this. I'm about to drop a bombshell. Magic Johnson claims that the Lakers was going to get DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield. They was going to get both of those guys. LeBron James stopped that. Period. LeBron James said, "I don't want DeMar DeRozan. I don't want Buddy Hield. I want Russell Westbrook." He went after the more bigger name, the superstar, the top 75 player, because he thought if I have another big three, it'd be easy for me to win another championship. Little does he know that DeMar DeRozan became an even better player this season, an MVP candidate, dropping 50-point games, hitting clutch shots, putting the team on his back. DeMar DeRozan was a beast this regular season. And I have issues with that because if you're LeBron James, why would you want DeMar DeRozan? You're supposed to be good enough to win with AD and role players. You feel me? You know, and the funny part about it, yeah, yeah, Brandon. The funny part about it is we got a lot of great players here that trying to make their mark, and we don't just give them the time because LeBron James keep hogging up the media. LeBron James is a media puppet. He wants attention constantly. You lost. Go and sit down. Go work on your game. Go sit down with Rob Pelinka if you're the GM and work on a way to fix the Lakers team because Russell Westbrook is set to make $47 million. You think he gonna pass that up? Russell Westbrook gonna get that bag, and he gonna be stuck on the Lakers roster. You're gonna be stuck with him again. It's a damn shame. Giannis could be on the verge of making history. Giannis could be that real dude, the Shaq of this modern day NBA era, and nobody paying a goddamn attention, which is sad. Yeah, if LeBron's so great, why you have to put down other basketball players to prop him up? Because he's really not that great as the media want you to believe. Not saying he's not a great basketball player, but if you have to constantly insult your name with other great players because you can't stand on your own too, that's a problem. That's a problem. No player has had more help in modern NBA history than LeBron James. None. You know. Wow. Somebody else. What happened? Somebody disrespecting Kobe to prop up LeBron. That's what they do. You know. Giannis is the best player in the world right now, and he has a chance of two-peating. If he gets another championship this season, he surpasses Kevin Durant already because he will have to go do Kevin Durant to get that second title. I don't want to hear that nonsense about Kevin Durant neither. Get the job done. The Batman. Somebody loves the Batman movie. I didn't check it out yet. I definitely didn't check it out yet. I heard that was one of the best movies of the year. I'm going to check out the Batman movie because it comes April 19th on streaming services. So if you think about going to watch the movie now and it's already April, just fall back for a while. Hang on for a couple of days, you'll be all right. You know? Yeah, Giannis said, hey, I could easily win with super teams. I don't want them. I gotta salute that. Whoa, that's wrong. Especially a guy that passed away that can't speak up for himself. But you know what? Us basketball players, we could speak up for him then. Since Kobe ain't around the ether, let us do it. Because Kobe didn't need a super team to win multiple championships. He actually made sacrifices because if he was a stat patter, like most of you guys would want him to be, he could have did it while he was playing with Shaq. Remember when he first came into the game, people was calling him showboat and all this other stuff. He could have kept that same energy and just stat padded and tuck L's if he wanted to. Nonsense. That's nonsense. Kobe won 2 out of 3 championships, 08 to 2010. Kobe don't get no 6 finals losses. And I don't think Kobe will allow himself to get 6 finals losses. Yep. And a torn Achilles in your 19th, 18th season is a career ending. Kobe had a career ending injury, not what LeBron got. LeBron got sore knees. Oh, I want to sit out this game, load management. I want to play against this bad team because I could get my numbers up. I could score 50 on this team, but this other team is one of the best defensive teams in the league. I don't want to play against them. Let me sit out that team. Let me sit out that game because I could boost my stats up. Flat out disrespectful, man. You probably wouldn't say that if Kobe was around because Kobe would have checked you. I never heard people say Kobe quit in games. Now, you could probably, if you want to just dig down and be biased towards LeBron, you want to go, you're just going to sit there and say, well, you know what? He did this, he did that to validate LeBron James for quitting and coming up short and all of this other stuff. But if you ask other past greats, Kevin Garnett, we ran LeBron out of Cleveland. That's his own words. I never heard Isaiah Thomas, who hate Michael Jordan, never say Michael Jordan quit in the game. Isaiah Thomas will smack you in the face if you say Jordan quit against them. Even he won't say that. John Sally will never tell you Michael Jordan quit against them. Dennis Rodman will never tell you that they quit against Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan quit against them. So when your rivals have the utmost respect for you because they know, hey, we pushed this guy to the breaking point and he still never quit, that says a lot. Even Biggie won't let you talk bad about Tupac. And he was beefing with the man. Do you understand what I'm talking about? But if you ask guys like Jason Terry and several others, they'd be like, yeah, we bust that ass. We made him quit. We made him become shook and scared to do certain things. But you never get that type of energy for Kobe and LeBron. I mean, Kobe and Michael Jordan. You never got it. I heard Isaiah Thomas say some crazy stuff about Michael Jordan, but he never said Michael Jordan quit. He never said Michael Jordan was stat padding. No, it's a damn shame. And I hope this past postseason don't get messed up because guess what? We got some good games coming up. Don't let LeBron James ruin the postseason. Don't let him downgrade whoever's going to win the championship this season. This will be another basketball player winning an NBA championship under LeBron's watch. Okay? That's not dominant when you have a bunch of super teams and you lost more than you won. Kawhi got them. He got championships under LeBron's watch. One of them came by beating LeBron and outplaying LeBron in 2014. Kevin Durant got them. Steph Curry got them. Giannis got them. Dirk got them. Several players was eating under LeBron's watch while he had super teams. And that's just a fact of the situation. Shout out to Hoop Facts. Shout out to G Money. G Money said the Lakers wasn't going to win the championship anyway. You know, Giannis is the next man up. Yes, it is. He may be the player of this era. He already got one championship in this era. This era started from 2020. So from 2020 to 29, from 2020 to 29, from 2020 to 2029. Wow, is the new era. That's the era we living in right now. This era could belong to Giannis Antetokounmpo. He already got one championship so far. Clean resume. 1-0. Keep it up. What if he gets a three-peat in this era? Or even win more? Do the impossible. But the Lakers are probably in some trouble because they're going to have to probably find a way that Westbrook going to get his 47 million. So he may stay on the Lakers roster. AD, you talk about trading him. Well, guess what? He probably will want to be traded at this rate, but he seems even complacent. He became a top 75 player of all time. He got his championship. Looks like he okay with that. He don't want to push it to the next level. Never become complacent if you're a great basketball player. And LeBron James became complacent because he had all you guys, all the cronies, not you guys, but all the cronies, patting him on the back, saying, hey, you're right. You don't need to win more. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because you should have had 6 championships or more by now. If you're going to put you in the atmosphere of being a GOAT. I don't care how you lost championships. The fact is that you lost them on the biggest stage there is. You was playing on a basketball court. That's all that matters. Because we could sit here and make excuses for everybody losing. The facts of the matter is it took place. LeBron James was never the GOAT to begin with. So I don't know what you're talking about. The GOAT is Michael Jordan. Stop it. And we can't even take you serious. You're the same guy that was last night talking about LeBron's not the GOAT. So stop moving the goalposts. Take those L's, hold it on your forehead, Zach, and go to sleep with that L. Because Kobe was able to go to the playoffs with Kwame Brown and Switch Parker. I'm pretty sure he could go to the playoffs with Russell Westbrook and AD for a couple games. Miss me with that. Well, in terms of ranking, Howard actually has more individual accomplishments than Anthony Davis, to be exact. So he may have to be ranked above Anthony Davis, and they both got one championship, you know. Reggie Miller lost to Michael Jordan, brother. Reggie Miller, if he played against LeBron, he probably would have some W's against LeBron. That's the difference. Reggie Miller never got past Michael Jordan, so miss me with that. Jason Terry got past Michael Jordan. I mean, got past LeBron James. Yeah, exactly. Jason Terry is not even half the player Reggie Miller is. Go and sit down somewhere, Zach, man. You got to learn basketball, bro. Stop making up nonsense, man. You need to stop making up nonsense. And Jason Terry beat LeBron James. What's more worse? Going to 7 games or getting beat by a role player like Jason Terry? Stop it. Larry Bird is a great basketball player, but he beat Michael Jordan when Michael Jordan wasn't in his prime yet. Just like when LeBron was losing early in his first 7 seasons, right? He wasn't in his prime. LeBron didn't become LeBron until 2008 to 2009. So anything above that, miss me with that. We worry about what you do when you come in your prime and you have a championship team. Oh, okay, it's a team sport, duh. But it's not a team sport when LeBron's winning, right? Because if LeBron was winning, you wouldn't be talking about no team sport. You'd be on here slurping LeBron, talking about how great he is. You know, come get this work, Zach. Actually, get this link and get Ether. You know, we talking facts. This ain't about slurping Michael Jordan. We speaking facts. Simple. LeBron won with multiple all-time greats, superstars, and still underachieved. That alone is a red flag. Yeah, Reggie Miller was cold, man. He didn't take crap from nobody neither. You know, we all know it's a team sport. Does 5 people on the basketball court? You know, there's no hate in here. We just speaking facts, man. Don't get mad because you in your feelings. The minute you start to be in your feelings, try to curse people out, that shows how crazy you are. Won't you get off another man's nuts? You don't know LeBron James. Man, that's like gay to the fullest form. Like, what are you doing, bro? Bring your slurper logic, and I ether anything that you got, and I already have. Dog, you ain't on my level. Most of these clowns are not on my level because they don't have no morals, no criteria other than the fact he moves fast and he runs, he jumps high. Come on, Zach, come get this work. Don't go running and crying. Go and tell the rest of your cronies, come up in here. That's all you got to do. Get free work. I give free ass whoopings. That's it. It don't cost you nothing. Exactly. Instead of worrying your mouth talking, go back to the lab, bro. Get in and come back stronger than ever next season. But you're done with for this season. No, you guys are saying is guys like Zach that be sitting there backing up LeBron, talking all that smack. The storm is coming. Okay, playoff mode is coming. Activated. All this other stuff that he be talking about. Every time he run his mouth, go on social media talking, he ends up losing. Won't you just focus on your game instead of talking all the time? You told us keep that same energy. Now you can't even go into the postseason. This is one of the biggest failures for your career. Absolutely, this may be one of the worst seasons of your career, period. Because all you did was stat pad for most of the time. You can make a case this was one of the worst seasons of your career because you underachieved with a lot of talent on it. Even if AD didn't play for most of the season, you should still make the postseason. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Russell Westbrook was able to make the postseason with lesser talent than LeBron. Kobe made the postseason with Spush Parker and all them other boys. Stop lying. Anytime you want smoke, Zach, I ether that ass. Anytime. Come get this work. You ain't got nothing for me but excuses. Whenever you have just excuses, you already lost. Stop making excuses for players when they lose. They lose, they lose. When Kobe lost, and they said, "Oh, what you gonna do next season?" If I hit that wall, I'm gonna smash right through it. Kobe shut it out, kept his mouth shut for the whole
2008 season. Went back in the lab, just work on his game. He didn't use the media for attention. He just went back and did what he had to do. Miss me with that nonsense. Your days of slurping Zach comes to an end. Stop listening to all these cronies, all these fanboys of LeBron James that don't even rock with basketball. All they do is just worry about one player. They're not even real basketball fans. Bro, do you realize I have LeBron jerseys? I have LeBron shoes. I have LeBron classic games on tape. So before you call me a hater, check yourself. Just because I'm seeing the truth and I'm speaking reality, don't mean I'm a hater. Every player has that time. I mean, his time is probably up. Move on. You know, LeBron's a great basketball player. I got nothing but respect definitely for him off the court. But on the court, sometimes he got some flaws. It is what it is. You know, you can't give a man a pass for that. Even his own fanboys are starting to be like, hold up. I feel a little let down. You know, Jordan lost, yeah, just like any other player. But I never got the sense, even when Jordan lost, that he didn't give me his very best. You get that feeling when LeBron is playing sometimes. How many LeBron fans feel like LeBron let them down sometimes? I know you guys felt like that. Stop it. You know, you be like, hey man, he was a little hesitant. He wasn't offensive enough. He wasn't this enough. You always felt something was missing with LeBron James, right? But you never get that feeling with Jordan, you know? Yeah, that narrative needs to stop now. He's gonna have to come back and do something. Because if you're playing with multiple Hall of Famers and you can't make them better, I don't know what can you do. This is the same guy that just said he wanted to play with Steph Curry.
Yo,
You
what's
do
up,
not
Prince?
want. I would never want to play with Steph Curry if I'm LeBron James. What's
Yo,
up,
what's
bro?
up? Yeah, this was just embarrassing season by the Lakers. I might have to reevaluate my top
Welcome
10
to All
list
Tech Lansing.
Word. But
because I think I had LeBron like maybe top three or something like that. I might have to reevaluate. I think it's gonna be easier when his
yeah,
career is over. When his career is over,
yeah,
that's when I could really. Because I have to see what else he does because his career is still not over.
bro. Yeah, bro. We all human. We all got brainwashed by the media a little bit. You know, it is what it is. You know, and we as people got to start thinking for ourselves. Stop letting the media tell you what's what. You know, because they got hidden agenda. They're just doing this stuff for money. All these LeBron stories is just for money. Half of these, I don't even think most of these guys in the media are probably LeBron James fans. Really, they're just using the guy's name for attention, to get ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this was a team that was predicted to make the finals, and you can't even make the play-in tournament. Like the
Yeah,
play-in, forget playoffs. You can't even make 10 seed. That's just.
exactly. Yeah,
And then
that's
I
the
was
shame.
having an argument with some other people. Michael Jordan, 02, 03, with that Wizards teams, they won more games than the Lakers this year. But
Yeah,
he
that's
didn't,
crazy, and that's less talented. That's
and
a
he
less
didn't have
talented
he,
team
he didn't have the
with
luxury of
no,
having,
and that Wizards team wasn't even a title contender.
and he
Nobody
didn't
thought
have
it
the
they
luxury
thought
of having a play-in tournament. There was no play-in tournament in 2002 and 2003. LeBron had a play-in tournament this year, and he still couldn't make
yeah.
the play-in.
And the playing tournament lets losing teams get multiple chances to go to the playoffs. That's the flaw with this play-in. We need to get rid of the play-in too. You
Yeah, I'm
know.
just saying
But
if if
shout
if
out, hold on, shout out to Ryan for admitting certain things. See, this is what I want. A real man could admit when somebody loses and they deserve criticism. You know, he's not sitting down there making excuses for LeBron James, and he is a LeBron James fan. And I appreciate you being upfront and honest with me. You know, stop lying like some of these slurpers, man. I don't like people that keep making excuses for their favorite player. Just say, hey, man, we got our asses kicked. We be back.
You know, as simple as that. But go ahead, Shy Town. What were you saying?
No, another thing that pisses me off too. It feels like LeBron's not even mad. Like he thinks this is some type of joke or something. Did you see his tweet the other day
Exactly.
for April Fools?
Yeah, yeah. The he gonna take the season off.
Yeah, and
The
then people thought he was making it the April Fool joke, but it was actually true.
yeah, you
And it
know.
feels like he's not even pissed off that the way things are. Like he feels like he's in his own world. He's rich. Like
Yeah, man. I think he got too complacent. The fact that he says he having the time of his life, that should never came out of your mouth because your team is losing. You know, even if you felt like that, keep that to yourself. Because nobody would say they're having the time of their life when they losing. Most superstars would be like, man, I got the numbers, but you know what? We still losing. I'm not happy with it. I always hear players say, hey, I don't care about those 50 points. We lost.
you used to see how pissed Kobe was when he lost. Like when he lost, like the '08 when he lost to Boston, he was so pissed. And
Yeah.
then with LeBron, it's like even in 2011 too, he was like, "Oh well, they have to wake up to their own lives. My haters have to wake up to their lives the next day."
Yeah, that's just the wrong thing to say, man. I mean, you lost. Just take the loss like a man.
Like in
Be like,
'08, you saw how Kobe pissed was so pissed in 2008 when he lost to
yeah,
Boston.
oh yeah. That's when they hit them with that quote. The lady was telling him, you hit a wall. What you gonna do? He was like, you know what? If I had to run through that wall, I'm gonna run through it. And that's it. You know, he kept quiet. He didn't make excuses. He didn't come on the podium with a cast. I mean, like, what is this, dog? If you
Oh my
lose,
god, the cat stuff, man.
yeah, well, why can't you just admit that hey, I lost? It's
It's
just
funny.
simple
How
as that.
come where was the cast for the other game, but then the cast came out when he gets swept?
Yeah, it came out when he got swept. Yeah. It's all calculated, man.
And even this year too, he was making excuses how we didn't have a healthy roster. All that. Did you see his tweet before the season?
Uh, oh yeah, the one with keep the same energy. You saw
Yeah,
about
that
that?
tweet. Yeah, he said to
Yeah,
talk about my age, squad, all that. Keep the same energy. How about you keep the same energy, LeBron?
exactly. You know, and his cronies gonna sit there and make excuses. Well, you know what? He's 37. What you suspect? You wasn't saying that when he was scoring 50 points in games. You weren't saying that when he was breaking scoring records,
Are you on Twitter by any chance?
huh?
Are you on Twitter by any chance?
Nah, I'm not on Twitter.
Well, there's one guy on Twitter. He goes by Old Takes Exposed. Oh my god, you should have looked at his Twitter. He basically retweets like old tweets that like age horribly. You should
Yeah.
have seen some of the tweets back in August and September.
Oh, oh yeah. Oh, Ryan says there was a time he had Braun over Bird, but them days are over. I mean, it it's Ryan. I agree with you, man. I mean, we all been hit by that media bug, man. When you turn on the TV, all you hear is LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. As somebody that hasn't been watching basketball, they're gonna fall for that hype. Yo, hold on for a minute. What? What's up? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, now the playoffs are here. I don't want to hear his.
All right.
I don't
Bye
want
bye.
to hear anything about the Lakers. Like
Okay.
they're gonna find a way to bring them up, but it
Hmm.
is what it is.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna talk about trying to. LeBron needs more help, more
Like
All
what's it
Stars.
called? Undisputed. All they talk
Yeah.
about LeBron or the Cowboys. That's it.
Yeah. That's right, man. But yo, man, damn, unfortunately I may have to head up out of here now, man.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, man. But I want to thank everybody for joining. I have to go and handle some business right now. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's keeping it real and speaking their true opinions, man. Just because you like a player don't mean you have to be biased for him. You just got to tell it like it is. Be honest and straightforward with it. Prince Sports out. Peace, man.
Yep.
Shout
See
out
ya.
to everybody.